Dante, the Ascent of Purgatory. After the shadows comes the light of dawn. Having touched the depths of human suffering, Dante now emerges toward hope. Purgatory is not eternal punishment. It is a process of purification, an upward path, a map of redemption written in the stars. What is Dante's purgatory? Purgatory is not a place of condemnation, but of transformation. It is a mountain divided into 7 cornices, each dedicated to purifying a capital sin. Each level is a liberation, a detachment. Here, pain has purpose, to cleanse the soul, to make it worthy of paradise. Dante tells us, there is no redemption without effort, no ascent without letting go. And so we climb, to heal. The structure, the mountain and its levels. Unlike hell, which descends in a spiral, purgatory rises upward. The mountain has 3 major sections. Ante-purgatory, where those who repented laid await. The 7 cornices, each purifying a capital sin. The earthly paradise at the summit, where the soul is completely renewed. In purgatory, time exists. Souls count the days, remember, pray, because hope needs time to flourish. The ascent, the cornices, still accompanied by Virgil, but now also by souls he meets along the way. Dante ascends each cornice of the mountain. Ante-purgatory. Here wait the excommunicated, the spiritually lazy, those who died violently, and negligent princes. Among them, Manfred of Sicily, and the musician Casella, whose singing temporarily stops all who hear it. First cornice, the proud. They walk bent under heavy rocks, learning the humility they rejected in life. On the walls, perfect sculptures show examples of humility. A modified Lord's Prayer resonates among them. Second cornice, the envious. Their eyes are sewn with wire, deprived of seeing what they so coveted. They wear gray penitential cloaks and recite litanies of saints who celebrated generosity. Third cornice, the wrathful. Enveloped in acrid, dense smoke that represents the anger that clouded their judgment. Here, Dante has visions of meekness, including that of Mary finding Jesus in the temple. Fourth cornice, the slothful or assiduous. They run without rest, shouting examples of diligence. Quick, quick, let not time be lost through little love, they cry. Aestia is not just physical laziness, but spiritual. The sadness in the face of divine good. Fifth cornice, the avaricious. Lying face down, attached to the ground, they weep for their excessive attachment to worldly goods. Among them is Pope Adrian V, who acknowledges that no soul is more repugnant than one who loves money above all else. Sixth cornice, the gluttonous. Extremely thin, they suffer hunger and thirst before trees laden with fruit they cannot reach. Here, Dante meets his friend Furi's Donati, who tells him about the effectiveness of prayers for the deceased. Seventh cornice, the lustful. They walk through purifying flames, singing hymns of chastity. 2 groups march in opposite directions. Those who sinned against nature, and those who sin by natural excess. The poet Guido Guinizelli explains to Dante the nature of true love. The earthly paradise. At the mountain's summit, Dante finds a perfect garden. Here Virgil leaves him, as human reason cannot ascend further. Beatrice, his beloved, appears and will guide him to paradise. But first, Dante must immerse himself in the rivers Lethe and Uno, one to forget sins, the other to remember only the good he has done. It is an ascent that purifies, a path that does not condemn, it liberates. Symbolism. Dante does not describe purgatory as a simple place of punishment. It is a system of spiritual transformation. The 7 cornices are not arbitrary. They represent the process we all go through to mature spiritually. First, we must overcome pride, our belief that we are the center of the universe. Then envy, which makes us desire what belongs to others instead of valuing what is ours. Then wrath, which blinds and destroys. Then the sloth of the soul, which prevents us from seeking good. The greed that binds us to the material. The gluttony that confuses the hunger of the body with that of the spirit. And finally lust, where we learn that true love transcends the physical. At each level, souls contemplate positive and negative examples. One in the morning, how to live virtuously. Another in the afternoon, consequences of vice. Night in purgatory is crucial, one cannot ascend. Isn't it the same for us? We need periods of rest and reflection before continuing to grow. And the guardian angels who erase the pes peccatum sin from Dante's forehead at each level. Isn't that the relief we feel each time we overcome a flaw? Connection with our time. Dante's Purgatory doesn't just speak of the afterlife. It speaks of our inner journey. In a world that celebrates pride as a virtue, Dante reminds us of the value of humility. In times of social media fueled by envy, he shows us the freedom that comes from rejoicing in others' good fortune. In an era of viral rage and inflammatory opinions, he points to the peace that comes after releasing anger. Purgatory is not an obsolete medieval manual. It is a guide for personal growth that remains as relevant as it was 700 years ago. Because all of us, regardless of our beliefs, go through processes of purification. We all have to let go of what weighs us down in order to rise. In conclusion, purgatory is not the final destination. It is a path, a process, a transformation. Dante doesn't just create a geography of the afterlife. He gives us a map of the human soul, a route to our best version. At the end of his journey through purgatory, Dante writes, "I returned from those most holy waters, renewed like new plants, renewed with new leaves, pure and ready to rise to the stars." Isn't that what we all seek? To renew ourselves, to purify ourselves, and finally, to be ready to rise toward the stars. As a conclusion, I leave you with the relevant points. The mountain of purgatory was formed when Lucifer fell from heaven and impacted the earth. Dante places purgatory in the southern hemisphere, at the antipodes of Jerusalem. The souls in purgatory can see the future but not the present. Purgatory is the only realm where time exists as we know it. Each cornice has a guardian angel with different characteristics. Purgatory did not exist in the classical tradition. It is a medieval Christian creation. In the Divine Comedy, Purgatory has exactly 33 cantos, just like Paradise. Unlike in hell where the condemned curse, in purgatory souls pray.